Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Sunday Sipper. We got the McDonald's McCafe with a little bit of my personal touch in there, a little bit of Splenda. And I think it's peppermint mocha because they were out of sugar and creamer. But, all that aside, today I want to talk about being a student. And not necessarily in the terms of being a student in school, but more being a student of life. For a lot of us, we go to school for 12 plus years, and then once we graduate from high school or college, that's it. We feel like we stop learning. We can stop learning. Like, we know what we need to know. But the problem with that is there's so much more to learn from life than just what we learn in school. We are one of the biggest comparisons ever made to human beings is we're supercomputers. We're the most portable supercomputers possible. And that's essentially how we update our software. You learn, you update your knowledge, you keep up to date with what the newest information is. And for a lot of us, we just don't. We take the information that we were given at that time, and that is the gospel. That's all we know, all we're ever going to know. And it's not like these things are impossible to find. It's not like these things are impossible to learn. Like, you have to pay a fortune to do it. More often than not, the things that you want to know, you can learn for free. The thing that you're watching this on, the thing that you use for, clickbait and all these other kind of things, you can legitimately use to learn entire fields of information, entire career fields. So the biggest obstacle in stopping is the fact that you don't want to use Google to learn. You would rather use Facebook. For some of us, it's a pride thing. We feel like we shouldn't have to ask someone after we went to school what the best way to do something is. We shouldn't have to ask for the answer to something since we've been doing this job for 10, 15 years. It's not the case at all. You could have been doing this forever, for your entire life, and there's now a new, better way to do it. We used to have rotary phones, and that was just how you made a phone call. Now we have cell phones. You used to send a message through the mail. Now you can send a message through an email for something that's in your pocket. Everything updates. So you need to update your knowledge. And for a lot of us, we do get stuck in a job or a lifestyle that we just ended up walking into, and we feel like that's just all we have. And it probably will be. One of the things that I remind myself of every single morning is that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared. There are loads of opportunities every single day, but seeing as how we're not prepared for them because we stopped learning, or we never even started learning on that thing that we had an inkling of a passion about. So that opportunity goes to the people who did. The people who decided that they wanted to learn about that thing. There's a lot of things that you want to know about, that you're interested in. Like the things that in the middle of conversation or when you're by yourself and you say, you know what? I would love to know how to do that. Or, you know what? It would really be nice to do that or to live that way. It would. So what is stopping you? Worst case scenario, if you spend a lot of your time learning things, you'll just be that old person who knows too much. You've done all these little things. You were a jack of all trades. That's the worst case scenario. Or even more, you're that friend that people call when they need to know something or when they need something because you just so happen to know a lot. You don't have to have a high IQ to be a smart person. That has to go out the window. You can have a low IQ, but if you have the determination, or if you have the will, or if you set aside the time to learn something, you'll know more than the people who have those high IQs. And lastly, I'm guilty of this as well. And I know a lot of people are. If you scroll through social media for 5 or so minutes, you'll see at least one of these posts. If you have a conversation with somebody for at least 5 or 10 minutes, you'll hear this come up. There are a lot of things that we should have learned in high school that they prioritize some other superfluous task, something else that didn't matter. But it's your responsibility now as an adult to teach yourself that. There's no reason you should know how to budget. There's no reason you should know how to handle your own money. There's no reason you should know how to file your own taxes, or cook, or take care of your own maintenance on whatever your vehicle or house is. There's no reason. I give myself pretty regularly a 60-day challenge where I'll pick 2 or 3 different subjects. And that's what my focal point is for at least 30 to 60 minutes a day. And I'll watch a YouTube video on it, or YouTube videos, or read a book on it, read an article, and I'll just go through it. Because there's every bit of information that you want is out there. Go to Google and type in how to, and just watch how that, because it'll flood with everything that you don't even know that you would want to know. So this is an informal challenge to you. An informal 60-day challenge. Pick a handful of things. And just set aside a couple minutes a day. And just invest in that, to invest in yourself. I'm halfway through mine, and I'm learning how to budget. How to be better with social media. And I'm learning about minimalism. 3 things that I've always just been more interested in, but never took the time to actually learn about. But they're on the list, they're on the chopping block. So I hope you take up that challenge. And I hope that you can make yourself a student again. Or that you continue to make yourself a student if you are. If you are, more power to you, and I appreciate you. I'll catch up, or I'll pass you soon. Also, I'm going to take the time to say thank you to some of the bigger teachers that I have. Most recently, one is going to be a good friend of mine who's made a lot of this possible, and I don't give enough credit where that credit is due. Jacob Davis, there's a lot of the resources that I've used for editing for this room that are just his doing. So thank you for that. I've asked and listened in on more than enough of his conversations to just learn. And another would be a good old friend of mine who I love him for the fact that he has the polar opposite of opinions of myself. Jason Dillon. There's never been another person to make me question my own thought processes so much to where I had to go back and sit down and figure it out and learn about it and make sure that was exactly how I felt and exactly what I knew. So, if you enjoyed this, let me know. If there was anything that I hiccuped on, or anything that you thought I could have improved on, or what your opinion on this is, let me know. And if you got any kind of value out of it, share it with someone. Let's do what we can to make each and every one of us better.